welcome.
Well, thank you.
So
thank you for having me, or thank you for, I guess, or me having you.
Yeah,
you're here in our studio.
We're doing both and both, which is kind of fun.
I love it. Yeah.
You're coming on Rise Together, but here we are. We stole a piece of it, so you at home can actually see where we are. We are here in the Walmart Radio studio.
That's right.
In Bentonville, Arkansas. And Russell, tell us a little bit about you and what you do and why we're in the Walmart Radio studio.
So I've been at Walmart now for over 6 years. 6 years and hit 6 years in August 13th. Came here from out of grad school and was doing category marketing. So did category marketing in food when fresh was first starting to be kind of a bigger area of focus. I don't know if you remember any of the campaigns that we did with steak over or fresh over. Do you remember those?
As a customer, I did.
Yeah, so we're going in and swapping out people's steaks and fresh and hey, surprise, it's Walmart. Anyway, so that was like right when I got here. A few years of doing that on fresh and then moved to electronics. But I think like the biggest thing that I've sort of has a part of my experience since coming to Walmart was Walmart Radio. So I guess it's been about 3 years, and I had the opportunity to be a part of bringing that back, and we brought it back I guess in October of 2015. It's been a lot of learning since then. We've got all this old equipment in the stores. We're trying to innovate and make sure that we're meeting the needs of the associates while also trying to cater to the customers as well, and so figuring out that balance has been a lot of fun. And we brought on the DJs, Bo and Antonio.
Sure.
Yeah, so...
and we had Bo and Antonio on the show a while back on Rise Together, which was a lot of fun. And both of them talked about that journey as far as seeing the golden thing at the bottom, saying, could you be the next voice of Walmart Radio? And so they came on the show and they talked about that story. We would love, I know people at home want to hear this story. Can you give us some of the behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes of what? With the search?
Of the search. Who were you looking for? How did you decide Bo and Antonio? Can you share that with us?
I can. We have got so many talented associates. We really do. We wouldn't have done the search otherwise. I moved into the Walmart Radio position. As soon as I did, I was receiving basically people's mixtapes from associates all across the country saying like, hey, I want to be a part of the team. Hire me. I've done radio for 20 years. I used to do voice acting, whatever. And I was getting these from associates all over the place. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have all this talent. We've got to leverage that. We've got to give a platform to these people who've got these talents to share. And so that's kind of where the search started to some extent. But so we conducted the search, and you had, I'd say, a chunk in there where maybe this isn't the job for them. And so we had 100, probably 400, 500 video submissions, and and a guy who was on the team at the time, he and I went through every single one of them, all 500 of these videos.
Wow.
And some of them were amazing. There were a lot of talented people that made it to, especially that top 10 crew. They were all incredibly talented, and then there were some in there that were just really funny to watch. And so no offense to you guys.
That was probably mine. My video was probably in there.
All very memorable, I'll just say that. But Bo and Antonio, they rose to the top. And originally the plan was only to take one of them. We were going to select one winner, and they were going to be the new voice of Walmart Radio.
Really?
And we got to that point, and it was clear that would be a mistake for a couple of reasons. One is that there was just so much talent that did bubble up to the top. Couldn't afford, obviously, to take 10 people on the team, but ton of talent. But then the other piece was we could tell that they were going to have a natural chemistry with each other. That has proven itself out to be, I think, incredibly true. I don't think that Walmart Radio would be what it is today, having one without the other. So that they both bring a lot to the table, and we are excited to see, not only what's happened over the last few years since we brought them on, but also where they're going to take it going forward.
It's interesting because you can probably pick up a little bit probably at home with the differences of their personalities, but they really are opposites on a lot of things. But it's not like some of the other relationships you hear about in media and things like that where they just hate each other behind the scenes. They actually do appreciate each other.
Yeah, they hang out.
They hang out. Yeah, absolutely.
They've got
they were at each other's
content.
wedding.
Yeah, it's like they're going to each other's weddings. They have family cookouts together.
Yep.
So you can't really fake that for the purposes of just hey, let's go hang out with each other all weekend so that we can get a post to put on our Instagram page. No, they're doing that because they genuinely enjoy each other's time. And so,
sure.
Yeah.
Well, and so really, is it work at that point? Should we be paying them for that. I'm kidding. No,
that's a question. Yeah, they have too much fun. Too much fun in this job.
But I think that isn't that what Sam wanted? I mean, that is when you talk to individuals that have been in our store for a while, the number one story that I hear every time is about Sam having people over on Sundays for chicken and hanging out in his yard and having the associates over. And that culture of family, that culture of being together, that's a foundational truth of Walmart. And it's good to hear that still happens.
Well, and one of the things that we were trying to do, and that I was trying to do with Bo and Antonio and bring them on, is like not only do we have all this talent out in the field, but the other thing is just that. But Bo and Antonio, like they're sitting in the home office, they understand the field very, very well. That's where they came from. Antonio was there for 10 years. Bo was there for 3 in store planning. They know those challenges, they know those needs, and they are able to be kind of like that connective tissue between the home office and the field to say like, hey, like we are one family. It's so important, I think, for this culture to be what it is meant to be.
Absolutely. So we talked about that's Bo and Antonio.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Russell.
Sure.
What is on your plate right now that we can share?
Sure.
Of things exciting coming to the stores and.
So. So I was doing the Walmart Radio thing for about 3 years, and now the past couple months have made a pivot towards Walmart World, which is mostly known for the magazine that gets sent out now every 2 months. One of the things that Walmart Radio does now is something that I think Walmart World could start to do better at, and it's like building a real relationship with the associates, helping facilitate just like the awesomeness that they bring to the table. Like we don't want to talk at people. We want to be a platform for people. One of the things that we're talking about going into next year is how do we do that in a more meaningful way, and we've started making baby steps, I think, in that direction with some of the challenges that we've done in partnership with Bo and Antonio. Like they're big. I don't think you could do Walmart World the right way for, going into the future without having Walmart Radio be kind of a part of it. And so we've done these challenges like with the Walmart Shuffle and the rotisserie chicken challenge, and like we are trying to kind of prime the pump and enable associates to do fun, awesome things in their store, engage with their community in kind of like unique or fun ways, and then like get that content that gets created. Like ask them to film themselves doing fun and crazy stuff that maybe we asked them to do, but like tell us about it, and we want to share it out because you probably did something awesome that we never would have thought of on our own, and now we can share it with the with the rest of the country and the rest of the chain.
Sure.
And so your awesomeness starts to scale out in cool, meaningful ways, and like you're a great example of that. We did the Spark Challenge was like you started that, but one of the things that we saw was an opportunity to help like be a platform for you to spread. To spread the word even more broadly, like and it probably would have been just as successful without us, but maybe we helped it scale faster.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Jumping in was massive. We want individuals in our stores to get involved. We want them to do fun and creative things. So it's awesome to hear. That's what we're wanting in Walmart World. There's going to be obviously bigger scope and those things, but you can check out Walmart World even online, and we don't talk about that a lot, do we?
No, and that's something that is a bigger place where we want to be. Like right now, like you'll see some of the articles that we'll put out on Walmart One, but our vision for where that goes is much broader because we want to meet people where they are. I mean, like people still want to read print, but they also are spending most of their lives digitally, and we got to meet them where they are and give them content in the places where they're naturally consuming stuff.
One of the questions that we always ask is are there any major leadership lessons? I say major.
Yeah. Any
leadership lessons you've learned here in the field at home office?
A lot of it depends on context, probably. Like, I don't want to say something where people are like, that you had the right manager at the right time. Like, I get that there are those realities, but one of the things that was especially true for me when working on Walmart Radio is just putting stuff out there. Like, it does not have to be the most polished, most beautiful thing that's been designed by committee. Like just start, take some risks and put out there what you think is the right thing. And if people don't respond to it, like you fail fast, you fail forward, and you iterate on that, or you move in a new direction. But you wouldn't even know to move in a new direction if you didn't try. But the other thing is, what you put out there might be something that people respond to, and so being willing to take risks, being willing to innovate, even when it feels like you are doing something that, as long as it ladders up to our core beliefs. I don't think that anyone's going to accuse you of doing the wrong thing, and I think that if you have that mindset, it gives you it gives you, like, personally, emotionally, whatever, it gives you some sense of freedom to innovate.
Yeah. Isn't that refreshing? Like, I want to talk directly to you. That should be refreshing to say, if you're living out our values, respect for the individual, acting with integrity, serving the customer, and striving for excellence, you are going to be doing the things the company thinks is important.
That's absolutely right. We put policies and rules around things because, like, okay, like, maybe there's gray area within that, but honestly, those are, you know, like, safety nets and that sort of thing. Like, really, if people were living out those 4 core beliefs, you're going to do the right things. You don't even need to worry about the policies when you're living out those 4 things the right way.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. So with that, let's go with the last question that I love to ask.
Yeah.
What does the spark mean to you? Of course, you know what the spark is.
I feel like I'm biased now because, you know, now you've done the Spark Challenge and everything. But to me, again, like, I talk about Walmart Radio a lot because that's just where I've spent most of my career so far at Walmart, or at least half of my career at Walmart has been Walmart Radio, and we're sitting in the Walmart Radio studio. Walmart Radio, both like in finding Bo and Antonio and like even the strategy approach or whatever that we've taken with some of the content that we've put out there, has been about inclusion to a certain extent. Like, you know, everybody, we're not hiring robots. We're not robots. I'm not a robot. Like, Lord knows that, you know, Zach and I are different. Bo and Antonio and I are all very different. We're all bringing something to the table that's making Walmart better because they're complementary and they're not redundant. And the spark to me, I think, is bringing in your individuality and being inclusive of people's individuality that they bring to the table. That's why we did the DJ search and brought Bo and Antonio in. That's why our radio programming approach is like, you'll hear us play all kinds of obscure stuff. I know that we also get accused sometimes of repeating a lot of the same songs, which I promise you is not on purpose. We're super sensitive to that. But we try to mitigate against that, and we, like, everybody's got different music tastes and that sort of thing, so we try to, like, appease everybody. But this is a totally random example, but like we did a video game theme music day last year, where we played like iconic video game songs, and like if you most of the associates, most of the customers, it probably was straight over their head. They hear the Legend of Zelda theme song straight over their head. Sure. But the ones who got it and it resonated with them, we have just transformed their lives in a way and communicated to them like, hey, you're talking to me right now, you're including me, and so now I'm going to post about it and put it on social, and like I'm dancing to the Legend of Zelda theme song like right here in the Walmart. And so, like, it's a random example, but it just goes to show that if we can help enable people's inclusion, they're going to bring more of themselves to work, and now and they're going to be more excited about what they're doing. That's a little bit of a deviation in terms of like how to think about it, but I think the spark is it's bringing your whole self.
I love it. I mean, we do have a campaign. Yeah. This is that place. Yep. And it's, again, refreshing. You've said so many refreshing things. I belabor it a little bit too much. But to say it again, that's what we really are. Yeah. Like that. This is not just slogans. These aren't just ads. That this is what Walmart is on the inside, and what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish. And so that should be an encouragement, I hope, out to you associates, that we want you to bring yourself to work. Like, this is that place to bring those unique qualities you have. And here's someone right here saying, send them up. Send us requests on the show. Tell us about the things that you're passionate about. Post on Bo and Antonio's Walmart Radio DJs. Let us know about what you're passionate about, what you're excited about, because that's what this place really is. And that's what Walmart has the opportunity to do. 2.4 million associates in the world, 1.6 right here in the United States. We have an opportunity to show the world what it can really look like to be multicultural, to be all the things that I think I don't want to say utopia, but we have this opportunity, right? We have an opportunity to be the example for the world of what it can look like. And so we're going to need your help. So keep bringing yourself to work. Please do. Your creativity, your excitement. Any last words for us in the show? No,
I don't think so, but I do want to... just re-emphasize, I think, that last point, like, bring your whole self to work. It's sometimes, like, I know depending on certain contexts, it may feel like that's not what Walmart wants you to do, but Walmart does want you to do that. Because you're going to be your best self, you're going to inspire the people around you who maybe have that similar connection point with you that's going to get them energized. So do that. Ask it of yourself and ask it of those around you.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm excited that we had the opportunity and excited that we made the time happen. Thank you guys so much for checking in. And like I said, leave some comments. Tell us about what you're passionate about. Go check out Walmart One and more importantly, the Walmart World section of Walmart One.
Yep.
And the new articles that happen.
And definitely, like even more so, be on the lookout for what's to come next year. I think on that front. And Serge should be at the foot. We're going to give you some of the early peak info, I think, on some of that. So stay tuned to Serge as well.
Stay tuned right here at Rise Together. Thank you guys.